Hello and welcome to the Daily Gas for October 28th, 2025, called Will It Gas by Philip Newman. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Fortress. Digits in gray cells must be greater than digits in orthogonally adjacent white cells. XV pairs. Digits in cells separated by a V must sum to 5. Digits in cells separated by an x must sum to 10, and digits in cells separated by an xv must sum to 15. So what does that all mean? Well, if we take a look here, will it gas? That's a great question, Philip. We'll see. We have our question mark block right here, really asking that question. But in all seriousness, all of these question mark pieces that I just highlighted will be greater than the orthogonally adjacent white cells to them. So for example, if uh, if this is 4, let's say, which it can't be because it won't sum to 15, but let's say it was, then these three cells, all three of these white cells that are orthogonally, that means they share an edge adjacent to this, must be less than 4. And you can actually kind of see the little less than symbol. Obviously, some of them are a little overlapped. You can just barely see under this V clue the edges of that little, greater than. So that means this is going to be from the set 1, 2, or 3, right? This will also be from the set 1, 2, or 3, and so will this. So it's quite limiting, right, with these cells. Like, for example, 1 could never go inside of a fortress, or 9 could never go outside of a fortress, because if you did that, you need a digit greater than 9, or you need a digit less than 1. So that's something that we can also think about as we're going through and solving this. But the next part of this is our XV pairs. So we have our V, which is the Roman numeral for 5. So these two cells will sum to 5. Those would be our pairs 1, 4, and 2, 3. Then we have X, the Roman numeral for 10. These would be our pairs 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, and 4, 6. And finally, we have XV, which X plus V, right, 10 and 5 is 15. That's the Roman numeral for 15. So these will be our pairs, what is it, 6, 9, and 7, 8. And that's it. There is no negative constraint here. So, this pair, for example, there's no V, but it could be a 4, 1. It could even be 4, 6, or it could even be 6, 9. It could sum to 5, 10, or 15 without a little clue indicating as such. And that's it. It seems like it's a lot, but I expect this has been well tested that the question will it gas has already been asked and answered, and let's just see how long it takes. So those are the rules. Let's jump right into it. Long and awkward rule explanation to lead us to where? What can we even start with? One thing we know immediately when we see all of these clues, which just so happen to be on our fortresses, is that once we figure out what they are, that's kind of it. You're done, right? The second you figure out what this pair has to be, like if we know this is 4, 1, we know it would immediately have to be 4, 1 in this order, and we know it would have to be 3, 2 in this order, just because of the inherent properties of these fortress clues. It's about figuring out what that first step is. I guess when I see something like this, where I have my two XV clues with the gray cells seeing each other, I actually know that this will be 8, 9, and this will be 6, 7. Like immediately, I know this is 8, 9, this is 6, 7. Of course, I know whatever this one is, 8 or 9 would be this one. which would make me think it's this one, but it honestly could be like 8 and this is 9 here. Like it's possible that it's like 888 and this is 9 with 9. Oh, well, hello. So obvious in hindsight. When we have these V clues that see three other cells, right? In some cases, it's not as useful because they span across multiple regions. But this one is very interesting because whatever this digit is must be greater than 3 unique digits. The only option for that is, in fact, 4 and 1. This is then, of course, going to be a 2-3 pair, but why this is interesting is that we knew that this was going to be a 9-8 pair. So what is my option left for this x? The only option is 7-3, right? Because can't be 1-9 for a couple reasons, right? Because of the 9 that's in here, can't be 4-6, and it can't be 2-8, so it has to be that 7-3. The second that this is 7-3 means this cannot be 3 itself, so this must be 4-1, and also we know that this is going to be 4-1. We know that this is going to be 2, but of course the reason why we didn't immediately know this could be 4 is, let's just use this one as an example. If this is 3, this could, for example, be 1-1-2. Right? This is a valid way to fill this out. It doesn't have to be 4, even though it has 3 cells adjacent to it, because you can have repeats across boundaries like that. And actually, if it was 3, that would have to be exactly how you do it if you didn't want, or that is exactly how you would have to do it. Sorry. So we don't actually know, well, actually, we do know. Sorry. We know that this is going to be 4-1 because it can't be 2-3 in this direction, and because of that, we know that this just has to be 2 or 3. No limit here, and you can actually see how that plays out nicely. Um, we got that and we got that, but it doesn't necessarily do it for us. This has all the options. Well, of course, sorry, the second we use 7, this will be 9-6. And then here, 8 is not going to be less than 7, so this is going to be 8. And this is going to be hello 5. 8 says this is going to be 9-6. And actually, you can see we did end up exactly getting what I said. You could possibly get the 8 here, and this could still be 8. But it could also be 9, right? That would also be valid unless I've missed something. So, I guess we did know 9 would have to go in this strip somewhere. That's fine. 9, it can't be 8-7. It must be 9-6. There we go. Imagine if you just pencil marked all these, because you could like pencil mark all of these as 8-9 and all of these as 6-7, um, and get like a big jump, including the V's. Like you could pencil mark all of these as 4-3 and all of the ones attached to the V's as 1-2. You normally can't be that precise. Well, yeah, you can't normally be that precise with X's and V's by themselves. Well, this is 9. Tons of stuff are less than 9. Every other digit is less than 9 here. So how do we move forward? Oh, sorry, of course. We know this is a 2-3 pair, so how could this ever be 2? It has to be 4-1. Of course. 2-3-2. 2 is, yes, it is going to be less than whatever we put here just by default. 1-4. Oh, and actually we have 1-4-3 triple here. So this couldn't be 4. Could be 1 or 3 though. Obviously, if it's 3, this is 4. If it's 1, then this is 3. And we end up exactly what I said, 1, 1 with 2 here. Hmm. 5. So 5 is an interesting digit with all these XVs running around because 5 cannot go on V because it would require a 0. 5 cannot go on an X because it would require another 5 that would see itself by Sudoku, and it can't be 15 because it would require 10. So 5, if we know this is 1, 3, 4, where does 5 go? Well, we know it can't be on XV, can't be on XV. 5 must go there. Don't know why that's what I saw, but there you are. 2, 8 or 3, 7. Either one. Well, this is something I wasn't thinking about. 9, 8. We actually know that this is going to be 8, 9. Right? Because where else could 9 and 8 go in this box? Can't have 9 and 8 next to each other here, which means the only option is split this way, which means 6 has to go here, which means this is 9, which makes this 8, which means when we were considering options here, it has to be 3, 7. Then the order here doesn't really matter. 7, 5, it's all the same. However, of course, that does give us all of these. 8, 7, 9, 6. 6 is going to be 8, 7 here. And we are done with all but just this V pair. Well, and of course, our um, sorry, like here, for example, 3. Oh, and actually we've had this for a little bit, haven't we? The 2 here, we need to make sure we're accounting for all of our fortress clues, but outside of that, yeah, like 2, 2 will end up here. Are there other limiting fortress clues? I guess this one, yeah, this one can't be 8 or 9, but it's not super limiting. Like the rest of these are gonna resolve nicely because no matter what we place here that is allowed by Sudoku, it will be it will be fine. So what's the consideration? 2, 6. Let's just place that since we're here. Oh, 2 and 2 that it's placed there has to be 4, 1 now. 4, 1, 2 must be 3. And this can't be 1 or 2, so it must also be 3. And now I would say those are our limiting cases, 3 and 7. Those are the limiting cases. So as such, I feel like it's safe to say it's pretty much going to be a focus on Sudoku here. Let's see, 2. What am I missing here? Because that'll let us resolve this as a 7. Do have a few 7s that we could place. 7, 5. 7 gives us 7. That should be all of our 7s. It is. Across, we're still missing a 9. 9 and 6. 9 should be pretty much done at this point. If it isn't, then I would have been surprised. 6s. 6, we get 6 here. And, oh, 6 here. That's all of our 6s. 8s. We get 8 here. Oh yeah, the 8 here with 5, I guess, is going to be resolved that way. 5s now. 5. Missing only one thing across here. This is 5, this is 5, this is 5. And we're done with 5s. 3. This is 3. What are we missing here? 2, 2, 1, 4, 1, 4, and 1, 4. And speaking of 1, 4, we are done in, didn't mean to copy that, 11 minutes and 44 seconds with Will It Gas by Philip Newman. I would say, Philip, I think it did gas. I wasn't taking the right logical steps at certain points, but yeah, that was quite fun. I'm gonna be honest, normally I don't really enjoy Fortress Sudoku much. Like the min-max Fortress Sudoku doesn't usually scratch that Sudoku itch for me, but this was quite fun with the XV interactions. I don't think I've seen a fortress that's used that before. But anyways, that's it. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching.